Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hearthstone. Today is June 7th, I believe, a few days. And we are setting up for the E3 streams that I'm planning on doing. I'm not sure if Loki's heard about that yet. So I particularly would like Loki to be on some of those E3 streams because I know he'll post in the chat a lot, but I want lots of people to chat. I'm hoping the E3 streams get me up to 500 subscribers. I'm at 150 now, so that would be a major improvement. Walter says, I like your channel. Keep making videos like that. Soon we will be more followers. I certainly hope so. It'd be nice to get a major jump, and the E3 is the biggest thing in the year, so it makes a lot of sense. We're doing a arena run, and I have one more opportunity to lose. I would like to get to the 3 wins before we lose. Loki says, this guy rocks. Thanks, Loki. Now, I've got, hopefully the chat's showing up here. Hopefully it's all aligned, so nothing is falling off the bottom edge. Everything should be falling off the top edge. The chat rules should be here. The Hearthstone deck tracker should show up here. And nothing else besides the game should be showing. And if I go over to this one, you should be seeing Hearthstone here, and a video of me playing The Witcher 3 here, which will be replaced with the E3 streams. And then when I press this one, it should be the exact opposite, the same video of me playing Witcher 3 and Hearthstone up here. And all of that setup should work. Hopefully. As I'm setting up the new software, OBS Studio with new scenes. We still have a ton of news to go through. Although I started writing the video game just announcements, like things that are coming to the West or things that are going to be released on specific days at the bottom, and I ran out of room. So there's about 3 other video game announcements that might take me till the end of till after all the E3 streams this weekend to... I'm just going to end the turn and keep the coin to get back to those announcements, but that's not a big deal. Most of them don't know. Loki says I'm here, and then a smiley face. The SAG-AFTRA voice actors strike is still going on. That's slightly notable, although it doesn't feel like the strike is a major strike, because they're kind of wishy-washy in it, which probably means that the SAG-AFTRA union is not as strong as you might think. That would be my guess. So they're individually taking contracts, and these individual contracts per game are agreeing, or at least according to SAG-AFTRA, are agreeing to their terms. But there's still, I guess, a few companies that don't want to agree to the terms. And I guess they're not working with those companies, or maybe they're working with those companies on an individual basis. So unlike a normal strike where the voice actors wouldn't be working at all, and it would be called crossing the picket line and being a scab to work during a strike, the union itself seems to be willing to allow the voice actors to work, which also I guess kind of points to the idea that maybe the SAG-AFTRA union doesn't have enough money in their strike fund to pay the voice actors to not work. I don't know any of that. That's just how I would interpret it. It's a weird strike, but it's still going on. And in general, what they want isn't money, just to refresh people's memories. They want to be told specifically if they're doing mocap work or if they're doing voice acting work, because sometimes they'll be told you've got a gig to do voice acting, and you get there and they want you to do dangerous mocap stunts while you're doing the voice acting, and they're not, and they don't have enough safety precautions taken in, and they want limitations on yelling and screaming so that they don't damage their voice, which seems very legitimate a concern, to not want to have to work 12 hours screaming at the top of your lungs for a video game. And they want a little bit of royalties, but the royalties that it seems like they're asking for are really, really small. It was, I believe, something like a single day's pay, whatever they get paid, which I doubt is $100,000 a day. It's probably something close to maybe $500 a day at most. It could be as low as minimum wage. But they want to get a single day's pay for, I think, over 2 million sales on a game, and another day's pay for every 500,000 or 1 million of video game sales. So not really an extreme demand on that part, in my opinion. That there might be reasons behind that say they can't do that, but I doubt it. Let's see.
Job's done.
Moving on with the news, the director of The Lord of the Rings and King Kong, Peter Jackson, has a augmented reality company that has revealed an augmented reality game demo, a tabletop game of sorts. So you have little characters on a table, and then you put a iPad or something in front of that and look at it, and then there's a bunch of little animations. It looks kind of cool, but in the end I think it would just be a huge hassle to try to play a game that way until there's some kind of augmented reality glasses, and that most definitely was not there, and somebody was holding up a iPad to see it. And then the animation on a lot of these demos for augmented reality and virtual reality, well, virtual reality usually is a little bit better animation, but it didn't look that good. Bethesda is hiring for a Bleeding Edge AAA freemium game. I'm not sure if there's really any hints there what the AAA freemium game would be.
When Earth moves,
I think there is a game that has a perk called Bleeding Edge. I think Bleeding Edge might be a perk in Fallout. Maybe in the Elder Scrolls series. But I don't know what else it would be. Yeah, it might be it's a completely new game, but it's going to be a AAA freemium game, and I don't know what that means either. What is a AAA freemium game?
The jungle provides.
Let's do this. And this, and then let's do this. And then do this, and hopefully we can win. Pokemon Tournament DX is coming to the Switch, which I think is just a new version of Pokemon Tournament, which I think came out for the Nintendo 64 and probably had some other versions that came out for the Wii and the Wii U. I think it's mostly just a tournament fighter though. I don't think it has the RPG elements in the areas you walk around to in regular Pokemon, which is weird because Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon has been announced for the 3DS, and there was a announcement that the Pokemon Company took back to say that those were coming to the Switch too, which wasn't that the point? Wasn't that exactly what the Switch was going to do eventually, is just have every single have every single character. Darn it. I'm not gonna succeed here. I've got to do this. And then I guess this. And then I guess this. And then the turn. Yeah, I would like to see Pokemon go to the Switch. I'd like to see all the good video games go to the Switch. I should have just attacked this guy, shouldn't I? Oh well. And just get rid of the 3DS. That's one of the major factors that's gonna make the Switch successful. Is the idea
just a pinch
of focusing all of their attention directly to one console. Let's see.
When Earth moves, empires fall. For the wilds.
And here I'm about to lose. Monument Valley just got kind of announced and put out there for iOS 9. It costs $5. Monument Valley 2, the sequel to Monument Valley, a decent, basically cell phone game. I think it's available. I think Monument Valley 1 is on is on the Steam. It's all right. It's pretty short. I played it. I got it for free somehow on the phone. There's so many opportunities to get things free. Speaking of getting things free, if you go to the Steam right now, you can get, let's see, a game called Outland on Steam for free right now. It's a limited time thing, so go install it if you're gonna play it ever.
So kind of you to join me.
That always opens up an interesting problem with me as a video game critic is I need to disclose when I get things for free, even when I get them for free just because they're available for free anyway. Well, that was an arena. Let's see what we get with our one victory. My Hearthstone deck tracker is asking me to put in what I win as a reward. So 30 dust and 1 pack. So 30 no cards and 30 dust. And did I just switch the thing? There we go. Let's go ahead and save that. And let's go ahead and switch to OBS just to make sure I'm on the right thing. No, I'm not. There we go. And there we go. So that pack is done. That's why I particularly don't like to do arena. It takes a long time, and it is slightly better for you. Certainly if you put in the more time. A pack is worth 100 gold, and 30 dust is probably worth about 60. So for the entry fee of 150 gold, I got about 160 gold worth of things. Right. And what do we need now? We need Druid and Rogue victories, Paladin and Warrior victories, and 7 victories anywhere. So Loki's brawling with a friend, and so we'll try to play one game with Paladin and Warrior on the Tavern Brawl, which is what we were doing before. Paladin, I suppose. And when Loki is free, we'll try to do all of the things there. If anybody else wants to play me, since I know Loki will want to play me a lot, if so, let me know so we can make sure we get you in the rotation. I don't want to just play Loki if other people want to play me. Let's see, discover. This elemental seems good enough. And then this. And that seems like a good start too in the turn. Moving on with the Loki says I'll be done soon. Good. Well, hopefully our timing lines up. That's going to be a consistent issue when you're trying to play people, is that as a person who's streaming live to YouTube, I can't really sit around and wait even a couple of minutes because that's just too boring. So then I have to be unfair about it and ask people to sit around and wait for me to be available. Summon 4 Morlocks. And we've got all kinds of Murlocs that are going to show up. EA is going to donate $2 million to a charity called Play to Give for anti-bullying. Frankly, I have a little bit of a rant here, but since I'm a little bit short on time too, I don't want to get into it. It's not going to work. There's literally no charity in the world that's going to stop bullying. Because, first of all, what some people think is bullying is not encompassing all the bullying that exists. And frankly, you're also, when you talk about anti-bullying, you're really only talking about kids. There's plenty of bullyings in the adult world. Most of them are your boss or your boss's boss or a CEO or something. You want to talk about the biggest bully in the world, you've got government agencies, AT&T, Verizon, every cable company. Those are the bullies that adults have to deal with all the time, and there's literally nothing going to happen that's going to stop them. But also, there's nothing that's going to happen to stop bullying in the school, because the source, the creation of all bullying that people don't want to admit, is the parents and the teachers and the other adults in the lives of the kid. If bullying only happened between students and, say, an 8th grader bullied a 7th grader, next year that 7th grader became an 8th grader, and then he bullied the new 7th grader who came into the school, then there would be entire years where there weren't any bullies in the school, or very few compared to the previous years. And that's just not the case, because there are schools that specifically have only one grade in they have only one grade per year, which, so by that I mean let's see, discover cards, pay attention, spit 2 floor damage. Let's do one of these, and so that's not where bullies learn bullying. It just isn't. It happens, certainly, but it's not the beginning of this. You can prove this quite easily when you think about some of the things in the United States that are kind of universally known. For example, Bloody Mary, which is just an old ghost story that's been said over and over and over again. That myth, that ghost story, should have died out decades ago, but it consistently happens. And you know why it happens? It's because there's parents out there that propagate it. And frankly, there are parents that are bullies, and they teach their kids to be bullies, and it's really actually rather difficult to not be a bully as a parent. You spend your first 4 to 10 years directly telling your child every single thing they should do, single thing they shouldn't do. It's from a level of concern, but you get into that habit. And certainly parents' brains get turned to mush in those first couple of years when babies don't sleep anyway, so they start thinking differently to begin with. So it's really, really easy for a parent to be a bully, and that's where they learn it. It's even easier for a teacher to be a bully, and almost anybody who's been in a school of any kind has had a teacher who's mean and arbitrary and just rude. So unless you're gonna teach parents to be better parents, unless you're gonna teach teachers to be better teachers, and somehow enforce that, bullying's never going to end. And frankly, a lot of the anti-bullying stuff, again, people don't really look at all the bullying. Studies have come out saying that 80% of people who have been bullied were also bullies themselves. So it's a problem that's really never going to be fixed. But a lot of times when they say bullying, they only mean the women are being, the girls are being bullied by the boys, and they don't care about the boys being bullied. Or they really mean the young children who identify as homosexual are being bullied, or the young children that identify as being transgendered are being bullied. It's whatever special group you're interested in protecting and representing is often the group that they're only really talking about. Let's see.
Reporting for duty.
And it's really not something we fix, I think, until we eliminate human beings from the focus. Until we can have a computer chip that just plugs into the back of the brains of people, and then they become fully educated adults and don't have to go to school and don't have to deal with other kids. And until we have a world where there are no adult bullies, which frankly the adult world is full of bullies. You just are gonna have to learn to deal with it. In fact, making school a bully-free zone is only going to massively underprepare a child for the first time they are done with that, or have to deal with that, which is certainly another thing to consider. Bullying is worldwide. It's very habitual. It's downright in the human nature. I'm not sure you can really educate it out of people. Maybe at some point we'll have schools that are taught by robots, and the computers will know exactly the right things to say and exactly the right things to do. Or maybe every student gets their own individual robot and never deals with anybody else. But until we enter that fantasy world, or something like that fantasy world, it's not an issue that should be dealt with by donating money. Now for the video game part, let's get back to the video game part. Is there a ton of bullying in video games? Not really. Just don't listen to the chat. People in the chat are awful, certainly. Don't let random griefers on your Minecraft server, stuff like that. Don't be on social media at all. That's a good answer to everything, I think. Let's take this. Yeah, that's kind of a very negative attitude, I know, but certainly it's how I take it. Moving on, Minecraft Story Mode 2 from Telltales is coming out on July 11th. We had said it was a rumor before, it's now confirmed. I haven't done The Walking Dead Season 3. I don't know if I'm really ready to give up on to fully give up on Telltale games. I know their engine sucks and they do the same thing over and over again, but I still think I want to do Season 3 of Walking Dead. I still probably want to do Minecraft Story Mode too. Minecraft Story Mode on my coverage didn't get a ton of people. People aren't that obsessed with watching Minecraft these days, but I'll probably do it. In the same breath, the Java edition of Minecraft has come out with 1.12, the World of Color edition, which, if you've been watching the snapshots, you kind of know everything that's in it, but if you haven't, there's been a ton of just new cement blocks of different colors, new clay blocks, concrete blocks, parrots, a lot of different things. Parrots, they did the biggest thing was parrots now die with chocolate chip cookies instead of breathing or falling in love or being tamed by them. Because that's how it would happen in the real world. Loki says ready. So, good. Loki said he was ready right about the time when I was done here. So, my first thing I want to test out here is the getting of, we will do warrior. Let me win, Loki, on this. Why'd he cancel it? Why did Napes? Do you want to play, Napes? Well, we'll do the tavern brawl if you're gonna let me win. Sorry, Loki. Well, I know you wanted to play too. I don't know how to do this. Like, I honestly don't know how to be fair here. Like, I know Loki's wanted to play, and I know he's always up to play, but I also know that we've played him several times in previous streams, and I don't think we've played
Your soul shall be mine.
Napes or
Victory
Nalpis
or
or
death.
whatever it is. I also don't know if he's gonna let me win, and that's what I wanna see here. I'm slowly working down through all the news so we can start to focus quicker. Let's see, deal 3 damage to all characters. Let's do this. Take this and then return. There was a report / rumor that most of Mass Effect's Andromeda was made in the last 18 months as opposed to 24 plus months of development, and that it was mostly rudderless before then. That certainly could explain some of the bugs and issues and why it was just forced out unfinished. Like, all that starts to make a little bit more sense. If that's the case. Loki says take turns. Yeah, I'll definitely take turns. That's a good idea, certainly, but I'm not sure if I was amazingly fair to skip you first. And I want to try my best to be as fair as possible. Do this. This is a pointless card to have. So let's play this. And hopefully lose this one. It doesn't matter. Discover a card. We'll do that. Don't want to do 1 damage to kill that. I think I do. Mass Effect Andromeda also has added male Rydo, 1 more homosexual romance option. So now he's up to like 3. It's pretty bad. I mean, compared to playing as the female version of Rydo, where it seems like you could have a homosexual romance options if you wanted with 4 or 5 to begin with. The number seems pretty unbalanced, considering you could have just had all the characters that could be dateable by either one, either gender. And I seriously doubt that there's a storyline reason why that wouldn't have worked.
Will regret this.
Of course, there's plenty of places that won't even be happy about him having 3 options too, so. But I guess all that would be censored out anyways in those places. Loki says cool. Yeah. Cool, I'm taking turns. Magic the Gathering is getting a AAA RPG game made by the Neverwinter Nights, Neverwinter MMO publishers, Perfect World and Cryptic Studios, who did a Dungeons and Dragons sequel. 1 damage to all minion. If you have 12 or less, deal 3 damage to all minions. How about we just do this?
Extraordinary.
This is weird to me because I haven't paid a lot of attention to Magic the Gathering, but I also don't think there's really a story there. It's just kind of a vague, nebulous concepts and stories, because it's always been just this collectible card games. Which, by the way, there's a Fable collectible card game that I think I might. It's free to play, but you can pre-order it for like $20, and I think I might get it when it's available, just so in case that game becomes really big and popular. Well, do I want to kill this and do 3 damage? Let's see. Summon a random minion that you discarded this game. Destroy a minion, restore 3 health to you. There we go. That was probably premature to do that. And see, the weird thing too about Magic the Gathering is all the art pieces are done by different artists. That's one of the things that they're really proud of, is they hire different artists to do the single frame of a card. Like here, like as in Hearthstone, none of that is done by a amazingly well-known artist. At least, I don't know. You can go into the collection and actually see who did the art for most of these. Summon all the demons from your hand if your deck has no duplicates. I think my deck is full of duplicates.
Do I have to?
Let's see. So, yeah, I don't even know what the art style is going to look like. We'll do this. Why not? Now all the hallucination cards are gone. For 9+ versions of hallucinations in the Hearthstone deck checker. Let's see. Loki says there are books to all the expansion story in Magic the Gathering. Are the books good, Loki? Because I know that was the whole Star Wars expanded universe thing too, is that there were books, and a lot of them, over 200. I never knew if any of them were actually good, though. Let's see. But I suppose that it, at the very least, opens the door. What are you looking forward to in a AAA Magic the Gathering game? Is it gonna be something like Skyrim but slightly different, or is it all gonna be about phase walking and all of that? Because plane walking, that part wasn't in Ice Age when I was playing Magic the Gathering. So to me, every time recently when I've tried to play Magic the Gathering, it's felt like a pretty different game than I'm used to. Loki says there's hundreds of the Magic the Gathering books. Okay, so I guess that's their way in. Let's see.
Extraordinary.
Twitch has announced this new thing, or Bethesda kind of has announced this new thing with Twitch for a thing called Twitch Drops. So for the extremely rare few of people who have a Bethesda account, and the only reason I even have a Bethesda account is because it was the only way to get the Fallout Shelter when it first came out. Let's see, which one does more damage? This? But this one says more consistent damage. I'll take this instead.
You've that extraordinary.
So, if you have a Bethesda account and you link it to Twitch and you play or stream, I think, a Bethesda game, you'll start getting some kind of loot drops in that game. And I think also if you watch the Bethesda live streams through your Twitch channel, you might get some dark. Yeah, Loki says, I remember Ice Age, very different. There are so many new mechanics. Yeah, it feels like a almost completely different game with just some basic things, and it feels a lot like starting over from the beginning too. Let's go ahead and do this so we can't do anything. So I guess I would recommend everybody just go make a free Bethesda account, go make a free Twitch account,
Nice little
and watch the Bethesda live stream through that. I guess of the live streams, I may very well, as I'm streaming them during E3, I may very well bring up the Twitch web page instead of the YouTube page for that one. We're almost done with the news. And how are we doing on time? I guess we'll just keep going. Loki asks, do I play Heroes of the Storm? No, I don't have time for that. I did one video that succeeded pretty well on how to get, like, what was it? There's a special unlock in Heroes of the Storm for playing Hearthstone. And I made a video on how to get that unlock, and just to get the unlock in Heroes of the Storm, because you played on Hearthstone, took me like 3 hours of going through that initial setup, which is something that I'll probably spend some time on during the E3 streams, is going through the initial setup of Hearthstone again for the Asia and the European markets, because people have been friending me and I hadn't realized it on the different markets. So while my North American account will by far be my default account and have all my good cards, I do want to be far enough along that I can at least play people with some default deck. About time. So I'm going to have to go through what is a really long setup of Hearthstone. Heroes of the Storm, honestly, is probably not one that I'd ever really play. I feel like if I was going to play any game like that, any MOBAs, I would probably prefer Overwatch, just because that's a little bit more action-based, a little bit easier to follow, probably not as skilled of a players. Hey, and we got the pack for the Tavern Brawl. So, let's come back over here. This Tavern Brawl is done, so we can get the Tavern Brawl done playing friends. That's great. So, as long as somebody's online, they are now top priority for every single interaction. Let's see. And so, Loki, are you in the menu? Wild deck, choose. So I'm looking for victories. We've got several different victories I need to get, but we'll try and keep it interesting. We'll start, I guess, with this Death Rattle 5 attack. Well, maybe we can just do the Murlocs. Let's start with the Murlocs. I think that'll work well. Troublemakers were spoofing the Friday the 13th logins to kick streamers and exploit their inventories and make them lose perks. I'm not sure this is really an issue, because I doubt very many people are going to be playing Friday the 13th anymore, which is a shame. It's a shame that that wasn't a good game, but frankly, any asynchronous game is probably dead on arrival. So I imagine we'll see a few more get pushed out for publication, and then that'll be the end of that. That was just, it seems like a trend that people shouldn't have followed, and they did. And then, like I already talked about, EA stream is starting at June 10th at 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Nintendo's is the 9 a.m. one that I probably will skip as long as the PC game. There's a second reason I'll probably skip the Nintendo one, because I just don't want to get a content ID strike, and I wouldn't be surprised for a second if it does immediately try to content ID or copyright strike my video for Nintendo. Like, I'm moderately confident I will not even have any trouble streaming any of the other streams. But I feel like streaming the Nintendo press conference will get me in trouble somehow. We got Mahmood online. Hi, Mahmood. And that just leaves on the news the announcements. Little Nightmares has announced an expansion pass called The Secret of the Maw. That's a game. Little Nightmares is an interesting game because it got probably more coverage than it deserved, and nobody really cared. I think part of the problem is it's only for PS4. I'm not sure it came out to PC. It did slightly catch my attention, but it was just barely catching my attention, and nobody came out and said it was an amazingly good game for a horror-based 2D platform. And the expansion's coming out, and I imagine it will do alright, but not great. Let's see. Is there a safe way to kill this guy? There we go. Got some more chat. Yeah, it's Walter saying hi to Mahmood, and Mahmood saying hi to Walter, and Loki saying hello there. Yeah. Eventually, if I do get 500 subscribers, the chat is just gonna stream by as people say hello. But you know what? That's great. It's much better for people to say hello than it stream by, because people are just spamming ridiculous comments or trolling or being mean, which is often what I do see in other people's chat. Is the chat just gets crazy, and some people like it to go crazy and be mean-spirited and full trolls, and some people just get out of the chat. But I'd much prefer if my chat was full of happy, friendly people and not a bunch of trolls or angry people. Let's see. I think I'm gonna win here, but Loki's letting me win, so that's not a big surprise. The other announcements: Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap will release on PC, Steam, and Good Old Games on July 9th. It looks like another one of these platformers that is in the spirit of old NES game, and I'd like to play more of those. Let's see. Let me come back here, and we need Druid, Rogue, Paladin, Warrior. That was a Paladin, so maybe we can get a Druid victory. Let's see if we can switch if Naples wants to play or not. is making a deck right now. We'll try this druid deck. A game called Blue Reflection, which may just be a visual novel, I'm not sure, is coming to PS4 and PC in the West, but no Vita version, even though there is a Vita version in Japan. September 26th for North America, September 29th for Europe.
Versus Jane.
I don't know if it's really necessary to separate the dates like that, but if I have details, I should report them. I would like to be as helpful as possible when I'm reporting these announcements for games. At the very least, then it feels like I'm actually saying something of value. If I just say a game has been announced, it's coming out in 2018, and that's all I know, then it's not really that helpful. Let's see. This, and this, and then your turn. A game called 13 Sentinels Aegis Rhyme is coming to the West for PlayStation 4 and Vita, I believe. It's a sci-fi mecha game, so that's kind of a niche for the West. Hellblade: Suna's Sacrifice is coming to PS4 and PC August 8th. But interesting, I hadn't heard this before, but it turns out it's going to be half the length of a AAA game, is what they said, for $30, which tells me it may not be as good as I had hoped, but it might just be very pretty and very short. I'm trying to play Bayonetta right now, and in 2009, when Bayonetta came out, you could very easily make the argument that it was a pretty yet short game. Fable Fortunes launches early access next month for the Xbox and PC Steam. It's free to play, but there's a Founders Pack for $15, and that's the game I think I'll do a spotlight on it, certainly, and I think if I can afford it, I will spend $15 on the Founders Pack, just in case it turns out that Fable's Fortunes actually does something interesting and helps me succeed in some way. What is the quest here? 5 minions with 5 or more attack. So I'm right in line. An interesting game called Soul Dam Drop Connect Erase. No, it's called Soul Dam Space Drop Period Connect Period Erase. It's coming to North America this fall for the Switch, I believe. It's a Tetris-like game, and it was certainly strange to see a Tetris-like game come out. Someone else.
Girl's best friend.
In return. Devolver Digital, which I think I may have been mispronouncing on a few occasions as Digital Devolver, which I don't think is actually a company, has announced this top-down action RPG that's coming next year called the Swords of Ditto, and that's certainly interesting. Well, he defeated me, so either he needed the victories, which I'm fine to give him, or let's see, who can we charge? We'll send Excelsior here a wild deck challenge and see. I don't know if Excelsior is one of the people that knows I'm streaming, though, so he may not help me as much as I'd like. See, that's exactly what I figured. Well, back to Loki. Let's try this deck again. And so now I'm I have cleaned off my whiteboard, and it probably will stay clean. Now,
Malfurion versus Magni.
I suppose
I must protect.
if everything goes right, I will have 3 quests in 3 days, which should be the EA stream on the 10th. Am I doing the math right? Yeah. So, that means this whiteboard will stay blank for the EA stream. During the EA stream, I'll be playing people and trying to get daily quests done and listening to what they say on the EA stream and making notes for perhaps some kind of recap video that I guess I'll do, or at the very, maybe I'll do a recap video, maybe I won't. I hadn't thought of that. I'm really ill prepared, if we're gonna be honest here. Like, it was only a couple weeks ago that it even occurred to me that I should do E3, and that's so ridiculous. Even starting a YouTube channel, you probably should have some kind of E3 coverage. E3 is obviously the biggest things. The next biggest things are some of the PAXs. Like, I would imagine Computex might have a little bit of announcements, but probably not too much. This.
Job's done.
No, I messed up. That was a mistake. Oops.
A natural mistake.
We'll go ahead and play this.
Well played.
For the wild.
And then this. What's his quest? 7 taunt minions. So yeah, I should have been preparing and thinking about doing E3 a long time ago. Two years ago when I started streaming. I could have done something. I could have at the very least made sure I watched all of the streams, which I'm not sure I even did, and talked about it. If not doing what I'm planning on doing, which is to talk over them and comment live. And the live streaming aspect, I think, is kind of new to it's kind of new to YouTube, so maybe last year I actually couldn't have live streamed anyways, but it's certainly the way they're going now. After about a month of just dry erasing my whiteboard, it's finally time to use the little alcohol spritzer. Wonder if that picked up on the audio.
Join the pack.
Job's done. I have an axe to grind.
The one thing is, I guess with the new monitor, one of the things I was going to try to do is have a teleprompter type setup, and I don't know what that software would look like. But I guess if I have an extra monitor and sitting around,
I wonder.
that would be another system I could do with it. But frankly, I think I would like a second monitor connected to like a laptop with a teleprompter, so it's not even connected to the default system.
What to do?
And the two don't interfere, fight, or conflict for resources. Gotta pay attention here. Would be nice. I'm sure Loki would appreciate if I paid attention here instead of focusing on cleaning the whiteboard. I'm done now. Could put it away. I think we'll probably just end the recording after this game, too. I don't know. Nah, we'll just let it go. Like, we'll let it go. I'm gonna continue streaming until I have everything finished. So, if only I could play this right now.
Job's done.
What does this card do? Reduce the
I have
cost
no
of your
time for
minions
games.
to 0. Yep. It is certainly still a concern, though, that the vast majority of time when I have nothing to talk about, I literally have nothing to talk about. So I go rather quiet. Start to stumble on my words a little bit more. That was interesting. He both started spectating me and finished the tournament. There must be a delay in the announcement for when you finish the tournament.
So many choices.
Wow, he stole my card. Loki's beating me soundly here. Let's see, what can I do? Deal 5 damage to everything except for Ursa? Well, I can start with that, certainly. I can play that. And I can play this.
Job's done.
And then I can end the turn. Need one more 5 cost creature. He's got me down to 1. Alright, so if I did this, I should have excess mana. Nope, I didn't get excess mana. Interesting. Play this. I could have played this and then this. But I don't think I'm gonna survive this unless Loki lets me win. And he may need victories too. This goes back to doing the arena run. Is part of the issue. If I hadn't spent a good 30 to 40 minutes doing the arena run, then I would have. So, draw a card.
Beetleberries, my favorite.
this one plus this one. Done. In the turn. My deck here with the druid's not that good.
I have an axe to grind.
So Fire Plume's Heart now played. There was only a way I could beat him. So clearly he could win if he wanted. Right. If you're holding a minion with 5 or more, adapt. Taunt. Wind Fury. Let's see. How much health does this guy have? 7? Is that right? Yeah. Well, that didn't help any. And I can't attack here or I'll lose. He's got 62. There was a slight bug in Hearthstone where you could have 0 health and let's see, deal 8 damage to a random enemy. So if he plays that, there's a chance it hits me here and I lose. So he's gonna run the gamble. But yeah, there was a bug they fixed where you could have 0 health and some armor and still win. Choose a friendly beast, become a copy of it.
Join the pack.
Oh, darn it. I thought I was going to get a little bit better treatment. I thought I was going to get an 8-8. But no. This. And this. And I could hit this. But I need to save all my health up. So I can get potentially 8 armor to save myself from that. Nope. Loki wins. All of a sudden, I think now that people can, get their daily quests done, I'm just gonna stick between Naples and let's see, we could try Inpat here. I don't think he's watching the stream either, but we'll see. We'll see if he rejects it. Otherwise, we're gonna stick between Naples and Loki. Loud lawn mowing going on outside. Yeah, Inpat declined, so you know, frankly, when people decline too, I should probably just, you know, unfriend them right then. Like, buy Impact, buy Excelsior. Just to keep things simple. And it's a little mean, I know, but certainly it's gonna help me. Loki says, good game. Let's try this. Let's try this combo. Yeah. I suppose might be a little bit partisan playing people if both people, both friends have daily quests that require victories. And that's all I have right now is victories. I need need 7 victories in total. I need like 5 victories for the other characters. So I need in actuality 10 victories. So Loki, when we get back and play, how long do we have to play before somebody can concede? Do you know? Like, is there a really fast way to cheat here? Is it everybody has to get to the 10th turn or the 3rd turn? Yeah, he may very well not know.
What you got?
Can you not concede when you're playing with friends? I guess that's something we need to experiment with, I think.
What you got there?
I'm not sure Loki is particularly interested in helping me concede and cheat my way to the victories anyways, but it's something I would like to know.
You're not that shotgun.
Wow.
Like, I imagine right now if I conceded it wouldn't count. But I imagine by the 5th turn if you concede it would. Let's see. How can we do this? Deal. If I play any card, I can't play any other, so. Just do this.
A little card.
Do this.
Justice
Do this.
is mine.
This. Do this. And then this. And this. And we'll do this.
Quickly. Yeah, beat it.
Let's see. Till someone is at 10 or lower health.
I ain't talking.
Ah. Okay, good. Good to know, Loki. So, maybe what we should do is concede when somebody's at 9. So, just in our own internal minds, it's a victory when you get somebody down to 9 health. So everybody starts with 20 instead of 30. That would help speed up the process. Let's see. This.
Hey, lights out.
And then this. And then
You looking
this.
at me?
And we play that. And we'll do this. This. This.
Justice is mine.
There we go. I'm doing better with this deck. I don't know if it's because Loki's well, I'm not even playing that Loki right now, am I? Naples is being helpful.
Cha-ching.
Let's play this. Even though it's not going to help me.
Shadows.
Actually, it's not worth killing this
Hey,
guy, is it?
lights out.
A little card.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do that a lot, where I think I'm playing one person and I'm not. Ooh. That was quite the twist. Give your weapon 3 attack.
Justice is mine.
This deck isn't great. 2 out of 6 victories, 33% win ratio. But also pretty obvious I haven't played this deck very much. There really isn't a lot of opportunity to play all these different decks. Loki says I'll let you win. Thanks, Loki.
I usually work alone.
Justice
Should
is
get
mine.
me close to victory. Yeah, because I've got a lot of wins, particularly this week, that I need to do. Normally, this is probably the worst example of what the new update is going to offer, because normally you would have a considerable... this is going to be weird. If I do this, this guy can't do it. So I have to do this and then this, so I don't return this, have to return this guy back to my hand. But yeah, normally we'll have quests where you just have to do a certain number of damage or play a certain number of 5 attack cards or play a certain number of paladin cards, things like that that are accomplishable while just generally playing and having fun. But I have 3 daily quests that all center around victory. Do this one, this one,
Justice is mine.
If he can put the pressure on me, though, he can win. Like, he's got 14 damage here.
Not quite what was planned.
And he kept stealing my cards and playing them. But I guess he didn't get lucky enough to play my cards better than me. So if there's a way I can increase my damage. Nope. So I play this.
Justice is mine.
Do this. And the turn. Loki says, I'll let you win, but I'll make you work for it. Smiley face. Okay, if I have to work, I'll work. It's not my favorite thing to do, obviously. It would be really, really amazing if in like the very first stream,
Justice is mine.
Let's see. If I do this, I don't get the card back. But I have no choice.
Wow.
So close. If he didn't have this taunt feature. Yeah. Well, I was saying it would be really cool if I got over 500 subscribers on the very first stream, the EA stream, Electronic Arts, and then the 4, 5, or 6 other streams that happen during that time all have super chat on them, because if I can enable super chat, then all those new subscribers, if they want to support and give me, I think the minimum is $1. That's really the only way you can do it right now on YouTube. There used to be a way you could just donate in the United States, at least, anyways, but they took that away for the super chat. And with the chat being on the screen, I think that might encourage a few people to donate. And certainly even if I'm making $1 on one stream, I'm probably making way more money that way than with 500 people watching it. Of course, then if I'm gonna fantasize about what could happen, why look so small? Why not just assume I'll get 1 million subscribers and have so much ad revenue that I get $1 million right there on the top. If I'm gonna dream, I might as well dream big. But in all honesty, if I even got 50 subscribers on the E3, it's a huge success. Frankly, if I even got 5 subscribers to the E3 stream, then it's a huge success. Considering how few views my standard scheduled videos typically seem to get.
I'm warning you, I'm unstable.
Like 5 to 10 views usually when a video. Maybe they get a little bit more over the course of a day. Let's see, deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. Well, there's no reason to do that, so we'll do that instead. What is this deck I'm playing, by the way? This is a Death Rattle deck designed for the quest of playing Death Rattle.
My echoes are eternal.
Copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. They have a new animation for Deathwing where he flies in and destroys everything. Is this a beast? No.
All realities, all dimensions are open to me.
What's his Death Rattle? Oh, his Death Rattle would have been doing 3 random damage to an enemy. In setting up yesterday, I believe, in setting up and testing my software, particularly trying to get OBS Studio to work the way I wish it would work, which it mostly does, but it's still missing a few things I'd like. I streamed for just a second. I clicked the start streaming button and didn't actually put any video out. And it announced it on YouTube and everything, but apparently nobody questioned me on it, and I deleted the stream. So don't worry if you saw that. It was simply a minute of non-video. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, summon this. Well, kind of wish I had played that before they cast all these spells. And these are not beasts. Let's play this. And
Justice is mine.
let's go ahead and kill this.
Simple fool.
And attack. And then return.
For this.
I'm surprised that there was so much news considering E3 is just a few days away. Just about 3 days for the EA announcement, which is actually a day early, I think. If I do this, I can't do this. Let's see, I can destroy a beast. I can do this.
Justice is mine.
And then that. In the turn. And let's look at the timer right now. I just knocked Loki down below 10, and it's 4:55. Let's see how much more time, if we play all the way to the end, it adds to the game. Because we've gone up to the 8th turn so far. My point here is that if he just conceded right now, it would save time. But it's up to him. If we might as well just play. If he wants to play, that's fine. I think I would probably concede if I'm trying to help somebody else. If somebody on the chat says, hey, I need victories, I'll say, sure, I'll play. And then I would just not put any taunt creatures up and just let them hit me as much as possible and help them. And then once I got below 10, I'd just concede the game. But that's simply because I know I want to save as much time as possible.
Justice is mine.
But I'm not going to demand that of other people. Because I know other people really do want to play Hearthstone, and they enjoy it just slightly more than I do. You stole my card. Let's do this. This.
Justice is mine.
I've gone down to 2 now. I think that was the 10th turn. Of course, Loki's letting me win. Let's see. What does Loki say? Walter says, goodbye, people. I gotta go to university. Yeah. I win 2 games. Rydo. Yeah. Alright, good luck at university. Bye, Walter. Loki's really making me suffer. He's playing all these cards. I would have had so many Trogs, Rockjaw Trogs, if you hadn't stolen my character away from me.
In the light's name.
Let's see. We'll do this. And we'll do this. And we'll end the turn. He steals my card again. He uses my own card against me. Spells cost 1 less. This is a pretty good pre-stack. I don't think I have enough of these cards to play something like this. I liked my pre-stack for a long time. I haven't played it in a while. Haven't had a need for it. Death rattles trigger twice.
Will consume you. Hunt them down.
Justice
So
is mine.
Loki's proving he's a much better player than me, certainly. He's got an 8 and an 8 and a 4, so that's 20, 22, 28, plus another 3, which makes it 31, 33 damage on the field right now. Plus he could do this. Then he just gave him some more attack. Now the double death rattle here won't really do anything. It'll just replace me with Ragnaros the File Lord twice if he kills him. But he may be nice and not actually kill him, so I can actually win. It's a little weird that they gave Deathwing a new animation because, like, does that mean that they potentially are going to? So odds were very low that I'd hit him with that because it was 1 in 8, but I got it. So what do I need left? I need 3 more victories, but I also need more, and I think Walter was the other guy, so it's just gonna be low-key from now on. Let's see. So I just need a bunch of victories. Loki says, nice game. I'm still reading out things because I can't see the overlays. Is this... That's a shaman. This is a combo. And then this was a one we've done. Do I have a different druid deck? Let's see. Let's stick with the combo deck, I guess. Let's just try to play some consistency there. I need to look and see if the other quest is done. I don't think it is.
None can escape
So
my fury.
there's like a paladin deck I need to also get victories on. Trade all of these away. And see, now for this recording we've gone over an hour, which honestly I guess it doesn't really matter. It makes it easier, certainly on the editing, and I figure there's probably no reason to try to overly promote the live streams since they're already pretty promoted. So I don't want to punish people just because they didn't see it live. So I think I'm gonna try to keep maybe try to get every recording up to 45 minutes for Hearthstone, and then the third recording or third episode just goes as long as it takes. So if it takes me an hour and a half to finish the rest of the daily quests, then it will just be every third day when I release the recorded versions of this. The better quality versions of this visually, there may just be an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour episode, and it's up to, I suppose it will just be up to people whether they want to watch that or not, as it always is.
Justice is mine.
It's been a little bit of extra work to have to go and cut up the videos, because when you're streaming it just makes one big file if you're lucky. Sometimes it decides to split it, and then I have to merge it back together, then split it again. Let's see. If I do this, I won't get a Jade Golem. If I do this, I won't get a 2-1. So I'll do this and then this.
Justice is
I
mine.
think that's the best way to do that. And it still will take some extra work to split up the videos, but it becomes a little bit less if I don't have to do that final edit, or if I at the very least know the final edit is just maybe a few seconds of silence at the end versus potentially an hour and a half of content that I'm not bothering to include. And of course, I haven't gotten any feedback since I've started live streaming as far as the recorded versions, because not very many people were watching those anyways, and if they were, they still are watching very old versions because I was so far ahead before I started live streaming. This
guy's toast.
I guess.
Looking at me.
I don't need to be
Justice
this.
is mine.
I don't need to think about this much since I'm playing Loki, because I know he's gonna let me win. I should just throw out the cards. I'm trying to play a little bit better strategy, I know, but in all honesty, yep, there's that new animation I was talking about. It seems just weird that they would decide to bring him in and give him a new animation, because then the question becomes, are they going to give everybody a new animation? And that seems a little crazy. Let's see, what can we do? This, if we do this, we can't do that. This, if we do that, we can't do that. I think what I want is something like this, then this, then this, this,
Justice is mine.
Now this will do 2, this will do 4. That gets him down to 6. If I could play 8 in one turn, that would be fine, but it won't. I can't, so he could win next turn. Let's see. This, if I do this, it gives him more damage. But if I do this alone,
Justice is mine.
done. So he could totally win. So he's gonna make me work for it. Alright. This. And that. And I could have also played this for a few more damage.
Well played.
Nice, quicker game. Let's see, I need 2 more victories, so I'm just going to stick with what I got. Because frankly, I don't think I'm going to win with the Druid, and it's Druid and Rogue. And I don't like the Death Rattle deck, it takes too long.
Maiev versus Maiev.
None can escape my fury.
This
I
will
am the
allow
Iron Hand of
Loki to
Justice.
specifically build his deck around defeating mine, but he doesn't really need to do that. He could defeat it anyways. But if I was playing him for real, yeah.
Job's done.
This side art is way too green. Just want to mention that, like, his Journey to Guru is just too much green. I heard something about the update that the text is blurrier now when it's in your hand. I don't know. Like, I'm really far away from the screen anyways, so it probably wouldn't have affected me anyways.
Justice is mine.
But like, I've never for even a second thought, oh, I'll look down here without hovering over it and read the cards. That's never even occurred to me. But I guess other people with a higher resolution monitor closer to their face could have done that. You still have the pictures, and it's still pretty recognizable. But as a YouTuber and a streamer, it doesn't matter. You still would want to hover over them. I suppose the pros don't want to hover because when somebody's hovering over the cards, you can see that they're doing that. Deal 2 damage.
Yeah, beat it. Justice is mine.
We'll see if Loki hovers over a card. It should animate that. See, he's hovering over that right now. So you can give a very observant player an idea of what you're thinking about if they sit here and hover over this and hover over that.
Wonder.
But I don't do any of that. It's silly.
Funnel cake.
And the way these cards are shown, like, this is probably his earliest card. So if I had been paying attention, I would have a very good chance of being able to tell you what,
Beat it.
how long he's had that card, and which might tell me how useful that card is. Loki's on the chat. These are decks I'm theory crafting with. Well, I pretty much, I guess, if I understand the phrase theory crafting, and that's pretty much all I do, is in theory I craft a deck, and in theory it might win. And yeah, I experiment with the decks. Well, there was an article about how to improve your attitude when you lose in Hearthstone, and one of the very first things it said was just go ahead and cheat and get the best playing deck that you can find online. Let's see. If I do this, it won't work. If I do this, it won't work. Let's see. If I did this, it won't work. Give your weapon 3 attack. That's kind of all I could do.
You looking at me?
What's this guy's deal? Random class cards.
You
Not that
looking
important.
at me?
Justice is mine.
This is still probably a good test. Having all these quests that require you to get probably about 10 victories before the most recent update where you could get those victories with friends. This could have taken me all day. And so far I've been playing for about 2.5 hours, which is a lot less. Still more than I would like, but a lot less than what it normally is, or what it would have been before. Of course, I still have a decent amount of progress that needs to go on. And I imagine a lot of people like Loki don't get the best opportunities to play their decks to completion because there's so many people that are just playing the top meta and going for victories. It's hard for I bet a lot of people to just say, just let me play, just let me get to the 10th turn. Let me see if this combo actually works. I guess in a different way, if you're playing regular people that are trying to win on like ranked play, and you never get to the 10th turn to use your strategy, then your strategy is probably never going to work anyways. And I feel like for a lot of the Hearthstone cards, that's the case, is that there's some 10-turn strategies that could never actually be done, because you would have to play so many taunt creatures, and you'd have to mess with your deck and mess with your strategy in a different way to get to that point.
Pay attention, class.
Whatever bugs I was having with the streaming and the
I am ready to
chat, that seems to have fixed itself mostly. Like I haven't seen the chat mess up, or if it has messed up, I've totally missed it. 4 damage here, and
Justice is
1
mine.
damage here. So, if this guy stayed alive, and this guy did 6 damage to the face, and this guy did 1 damage to here, that would work.
The shadows beckon.
I am ready to learn.
Yeah, if I unfriend somebody and they actually do want to be my friends and they just canceled something, just send me a friend request again, because I'll accept it. Don't take it personally. Like, I feel like kind of a jerk to having just removed those 2 people, but I'm trying to keep it full of people that are actually wanting to play me versus people that just want random friends, or people that aren't ever playing Hearthstone. There's still a lot of that going on. Battlecry deal 2 damage.
My dream ends. Your nightmare begins.
Justice is mine.
Job's done.
So now I'm down to 9. If I could get Perdition's Blade to combo and do 2, and this I could do 8, and then I could do 10 that way. So the only thing Loki could do to slow me down is play a taunt creature or kill this Cthulhu. Or me simply draw a card I can't play at all on the 10th turn, which would be quite the odd card. Even if it was like a combo bring this guy back, that would probably work fine.
I am ready to learn.
Quickly.
Let's see. So we play this.
You're not that sharp.
2 damage here. Attack.
Justice is mine.
There we go. And I need 1 more rogue victory, so I'm just gonna stay with the same rogue 3 times in a row. Why not? And then I think there are 3 or 4, if not 5, victories that I need for a different couple of characters.
Versus Mayev.
If I was really just trying to save time, I probably should have traded away one of those quests for something that would have given me less gold, but been more consistent. Let's see. I want to hold on to... Well, actually, do I really need to do this? I don't know. I'll hold on to it anyways. This is going to be weird. Because my first turn I can play this and then... But should I? Like, should I really play Headcrack on the first turn? And use 2 coins in the process? Like, I don't think so, so I'm gonna end the turn. Start the game with 3 coins for combos. Right. This for this.
It's our town, scrub.
Yeah, beat it.
And then this and I guess we can do this. And then end the turn. I think that worked.
Ha, this guy's toast.
I suppose now would be the time if anybody wanted to play me and they needed quests done for them to let me know. Frankly, they probably should have told me a lot earlier if that was the case. Let's see. I've got to play coin or just not get this, so I'm just gonna do this.
Justice is mine.
I've got no characters to play. So I'm thinking I probably want one of these 1-mana characters next draw. But instead it's a 2-mana character. Which, okay. So we do this. We do this. And then we do that.
Justice
We'll
is
kill
mine.
that guy.
Job's done.
For strategies.
Ha, this guy's toast.
Charge costs 1 less for each friendly pirate. Well, I have no friendly pirates. I don't want to play Headcrack right now, so I'm just gonna attack and then end the turn. This guy would do 4. Be kinda nice if there was a spell or something to make characters pirates or elementals or beasts or something like that. That would be a nice expansion, like mutagens or morphing or modifications, something that just forced character cards to be a different class. Even if it was very expensive, if it was like a 10-mana legendary, all the cards in your hand and deck are now this type, this class. That would be, I guess, all right by me.
I usually work alone.
Justice is mine.
Let's see.
Job's done.
4 plus this would be 9.
Pay attention, class.
I am ready to learn.
Loki says, I've got a friend wanting to play for ADG. Okay, Loki, that's perfectly fine. I'll take a little bit of a break from playing you, so you can go do that, and just let me know in the comments when you're done, and if you want to continue playing me.
Justice is mine.
Job's done.
That's fine. I'll just go back to regular play. Unless, of course, you mean your friend wants to friend me and give me that ADG, which I don't believe that's what you mean. I would certainly love ADG, but I'm not gonna get greedy.
I'm ready to learn.
Honestly, 80 gold's not that much. It's better than nothing, however. Let's see. How can we get this combo? This.
You're not that sharp.
This.
Justice
this.
is mine.
And then the turn. Look, if you want to, after my next turn, I'll be below 10, or you'll be below 10, so you can just concede there if you want. Like, unless you can do 3 damage or 4 damage to your health by yourself. That way we can show off the stream at least that works and it counts. Make sure the update didn't change anything.
I wonder.
We hunger for vengeance.
I am ready to learn.
Quickly!
Reinforcements be here.
Justice is mine.
Job done.
Smart moves. I concede.
So that does work if you're below 10. So Loki is absolutely right about that. Good. Alright, so I'll now just need 3 Paladin or Warrior victories, and I think if I just switch over here to this and switch over here and play my Murloc on ranked, I could probably run into some pretty easy people and get 3 victories pretty quickly. And see, this final episode's going about 2 hours long now, I guess, which is quite long, but whatever.
You asked for
Yeah, I'm not certain how I want to deal with that. Whether I want to keep the episodes links the same at all costs, or whether it's better just to let the episode be as long as it actually takes. I think it's probably just better to leave it all the footage in, and then that will allow people to make the decision themselves. Yeah, I suppose from the perspective of giving more options, leaving all the footage in allows people to decide to turn it off if they're bored after I'm done talking, and I can just say after about 30 minutes of talking, like, I've covered all the news, so the rest of this is done, and I have been saying that pretty much. And so some people might get bored after I'm done talking about the news. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a considerable amount of people that don't care one bit about the news anyways, but I'm throwing it in there as a different offering for different people. I'm sure there would be people that would be happy if I just sat here and was quiet the whole time, just played Hearthstone. That's how a lot of streamers do it, it seems. Now I can't depend on any of these people actually trying to let me win, unfortunately. And they almost certainly aren't going to concede after it's below 10. It makes me kind of wonder, can you concede if you go below 10 and still get the other quests to count? I imagine you can. So if you had a quest like play 25 Murlocs or play 30 Murlocs, whatever that quest is, could you play all those Murlocs, then you let yourself get below 10 and concede and all of that count? I think you could, but I also think you don't even need to wait till you're below 10. I think you could probably play one Murloc, and if you just needed one Murloc left to succeed, it would still count. I think only the victories require the extra work. Interesting how this character cloned the wrong one. You would much prefer to have the one with taunt, I would think. Next turn, play this guy. This guy's name is Scooth.
We must cleanse
That's an
the
interesting
Sunwell.
name. I thought it was Scooter, but no, it's Scooth. I wonder if it's something like Scott Booth combined. Well, let's see. I could do this. Alright, let's see. This.
Reporting for
And
duty.
then this. Then this. Then this. And then attack. So we do this one, then this one, and I could kill that one if I wanted to, but I'd prefer to do damage to the face.
For Najata.
Freeze my character, darn it. This and that. Attack.
Job's done.
Of course, now I'm out of cards, and he has 4 cards, so if he could do, say, the attack that kills all of the characters, does 4 damage to all the enemy minions, that I would have nothing on the field.
Tazdingo! Yes!
Now, here's a point where I probably wouldn't concede, even if I got below 10, because I just don't know what a random person is trying to accomplish. And I don't feel like it would be poor sportsmanship in that case. If they're doing a quest to play Murlocs, for example, and I can see they may have 5 more Murlocs that they could have played last turn. Let's see, how do we want to do this? That one. And that one. That one. Attack. Attack. It's gonna polymorph my character, darn it. Then flame strike it, fire blast it.
We have many secrets.
Well, maybe this will help. Turn this around and play protectively so this guy doesn't die. So now he's on the defensive. He's on the 10th turn, so he should be able to play some of these cards. But
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
So I kind of need something. This, and this. So more than likely they'll try to use this to kill this. That would be the right move, I think. Which just leaves me with 3 damage, which will take me quite a while to take out these guys. If I play that way. Let's see. Charge. There. Go. Down to 10.
You call that a weapon?
That's juggler. Maybe I'll get lucky. 50-50 shot. Actually, 1/3 shot. I did get lucky. Now would be a 50-50 shot because this could hit that one or that one.
Ready, sir.
Now it's a 1 in 4 shot. Now it's a 0 and a 4 shot. Controlling Murloc, discovering Murloc. I suppose I have to do this right now. There's no choice.
Job done.
So if I got the war leader, I might be able to win next turn. If I got the corrupted seer, that might help. And I'm not sure if I've got anything else that would be super helpful. Maybe the Growing Scale Oracle would get us a little bit further. That didn't really help. I've gone down to 5. If I could just do that last 5 before he can do 25 damage to me. Let's see. Loki's back. He says we can play more if you want. After this game, absolutely. I've still got a couple of victories I need to get. Mostly gonna play on this Murloc deck, though. Imagine. Maybe I have a different Paladin deck I can play. Yeah, I have that Divine Shield deck. We could play that too. So 5 to 21 now. And it probably will be 5 to...
Behold the might of storm wind!
About 15 in a second. 11. Has got me done. And see, I wouldn't want to concede here because he'll just win anyways. And Corrupted Seer would only do 2 damage, so that wouldn't succeed anyways. And he takes a victory. So much for my hope that I could move up the ranked in Standard. Alright, so we need 3 victories with Paladin and Warrior. And Loki's the only person that's even online now. I suppose it is getting late for a lot of people. Shield, Silver Charge. See, I don't think I'll try any of the Warrior decks because those are crazy decks anyways. Enrage decks and weapons decks that aren't even really that fun to play. They're just there for those quests. Which,
I will fight with honor.
Going forward, now that you have the ability to copy and paste, although I don't particularly enjoy the way that Hearthstone is just always spying on your clipboard and seeing if there's a deck copied in it. That seems a little insecure, but whatever. With the copy paste decks ability, that puts us in a better position next expansion. So next expansion, I'm gonna actually just build decks designed around having fun and trying to succeed, more on ranked success and less on getting daily quests done. Because if I get a daily quest that says play a bunch of rogue cards, I can just make a deck right then with a bunch of rogue cards and play it, get that quest done, and then delete that deck and copy back my default decks. So it is going to be a higher focus on actually succeeding versus just saving time with the next expansion in particular, but I may very well end up making like a warrior deck or something like that later too. I'm not really certain what I'm gonna do as far as just as far as Hearthstone during the E3 thing. I will be playing Hearthstone for the most part. Maybe I'll get really bored and go play Minecraft. But I don't expect I would do that because that would require me to set up something in OBS Studio to do that, and I don't think I'd bother to do that. So
Wanted.
On top
Dead
of
or alive.
going through the setup for the European and Asian markets, which will take a while, I imagine not that much is going to happen.
Back
This,
to your homes.
and then
The light
this,
protects me.
Giddy up!
this, and then you turn.
I serve the Fire Lord.
Look, he says top warrior is top tier. Taunt warrior is top tier. Yeah, I imagine there is a top tier taunt warrior deck. I just it's not the one I built, I'm sure. But that is something that going forward will be something to think about.
Reporting for duty.
I don't really want to play the Blood Knight and not use it,
Giddy up!
so I'm just gonna attack and end the turn. Let's see. Restore all characters to full health. Why do I have Tree of Life? Oh, because it was given to me.
Have been measured and found wanting.
Let's see. Can't do this and that. So this,
Reporting for duty.
and boy, do I not have anything I can play or that I want to play. I think Loki's proving that my Divine Shield deck here needs some work, because it's built around the idea of characters having Divine Shield. Alright, 2 Silver Hand Recruits,
Reporting for duty.
and give those 2 +2.
Job done.
And in the turn. That's the best I could do. Too much of this deck revolves around the character who gives Divine Shield. Character is gone. Where is it? Whenever you summon Steward of Darkness. Yeah. Too much of this deck is built around Steward of Darkness, and Steward of Darkness isn't here. You've got trouble.
Put your faith in the light. Duty calls. Job done.
Loki says specifically Quest Warrior. And so, if Quest Warrior is top tier, I probably should just go look it up right now and see what the other people are doing, and then use that to my own advantage. Let's see.
Glory to the Sindora! For justice!
Just retire the decks that I built, but I don't want to really do that. I want to play the decks I built from Journey to Unguru until the next expansion and give them at least a fair shake. There's this game has a 9-7 win ratio, so it's 56% win ratio. It's pretty good, particularly for me, and but a lot of the decks have only been played 3 or 4 times.
No,
There we go. How about we do this?
For justice.
Job's done.
If I got another knife juggler, that'd be cool. This, and then another knife juggler, then this. Do double damage to everything. I bet I don't have the quest card. I bet that's part of the problem. And I don't have the dust for it either. He could have almost taken me down completely. Alright, so I was hoping for this, but this will work as good as
Reporting
anything
for
else.
duty. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Alright.
For justice.
And see, if only I had a card that destroyed all damaged minions, I'd get rid of this one, this one, this one, and this one, and leave with this one, and this one. He's going for the golden monkey. Oh. He is wrecking me. He is totally wrecking me.
Put this apple on your head.
And this.
For justice.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Well played.
Let's go ahead and get rid of that guy because he's
Job's done.
proving to be a pain. And I'm back down to 9 after. So Loki has done nearly 60 damage to me. If he does 10 damage, he will have done 60 to my hero. Ideally, I want to play this and then this and see if that actually helps anything, which I don't think it will. I can't get any more knife jugglers. There's really no spells here that help. This strategy needs some tweaking. It needs some more things that work around divine shields and just a few spells that in general would do something.
For justice.
Reporting for duty.
So we do
You
this.
pay, I protect.
Glory to the Sindora.
And what's this one to do? Anything that
To battle!
important.
Job's done.
Now, in all realisticness, he should be able to kill everybody on this field, or at the very least, kill this guy, and then leave me with just 3 Silverhand recruits.
Break yourself upon my body.
Plus 5 health for every elemental you played last turn. Interesting. So you played 1 elemental. So I guess this is the ultimate card
For
that
justice.
builds around Well, let's see.
For justice! For
And
justice!
this one is after hero attacks, summon 2/1/1
For
recruits.
justice!
There,
Reporting for duty.
and there,
Reporting for duty.
and there,
Reporting for duty. To battle!
and there. And then return. So is Loki gonna let me win? He probably will. But I can certainly see how Osrook with an elemental deck, he's the end part of an elemental strategy. It's just, I'm still not certain that there's a beginning and a middle for the elemental deck strategy. Right.
To battle!
1,
To battle! To battle! To battle!
Protects me.
this,
Reporting for duty.
this,
Reporting for
And-
duty.
and return. I'm very, very low on cards, having none compared to Loki, who has 9 cards in his hand. Maybe I could stall, but not realistically.
This
It takes
jungle
17
hides
more
many
turns. Well, now it'll take even longer.
Reporting for duty. To battle!
1,
To battle!
2,
To battle!
3. And I can start attacking again. Get him down to 8.
I serve the Fire Lord.
Freeze all the enemy minions. So he just got a fireball spell. So if he was trying to win, he could have won. He could have won a long time ago. He's just trying to make me work for it, like he said he was going to. Oops. I don't think he realized that was going to happen. Let's see. Let's switch back to our Murloc deck, I suppose. I don't want to play either one of the warrior decks. I could probably get rid of the enrage one and try to play something that was a little bit better.
Uther versus Maiev!
It'll be an interesting
My
choice.
fury.
I will fight with
I
honor.
guess what I'll have to decide is, do I want to play the meta deck that is everybody's going to play for the next expansion? Or do I want to build something new with the cards that I have and do something interesting? Or do I want to do both? Because I imagine, since there will be 18 slots for decks, that means 9 of those could by default just be the biggest meta I could find. And then 9 of those would be just crazy decks I build that I want to. And then one of those 18 would then either get deleted and replaced with other decks every now and then. And I guess that works just fine. So we'll probably build in the next expansion 9 of the top meta decks. Standard or wild, I'm not even sure. Possibly standard. And then let's see, how do I want to do this? I guess I'm just going to end the turn. Or should I play this? I'm just gonna play it now, even if that's not the best strategy. It would be the 5th turn, 2 more turns from now, where I'd be able to use the hero power, play this, and use the hero power again. So that's probably not worth waiting for, if I was to guess. Let's summon another Murloc. What kind of Murloc do we have? We'll take that one. That one. Back in the turn. And whatever the next expansion is in Hearthstone, I guess hopefully it will not be incredibly interesting. The issue I think we might run into is we may find that there are 2 strategies for every character, which would take up all 18 decks. Or I'm going to have to make decks that only halfway use the strategies for a while and then make changes. Which that would be weird too. So, in Unguru, we certainly saw some examples of that, where sometimes the character would have a few elemental cards, and sometimes they would have some taunt cards, and sometimes they would have some adapt cards, and all on one hero. So you could make an adapt deck, you could make a taunt deck, you could make an elemental deck. And I guess I'll have to pick and just see how many cards I get in the 50 packs I open. Assuming I only open 50 packs, maybe I'll open 100. I probably need to think of some rules in general. As far as if I do get 500 subscribers and get super chat, and people start saying, here's like $1, or here's $2 for a pack of Hearthstone. Open a card pack. I need to wait and see first of all, and see how long it takes YouTube to actually get that money to an account, and make sure they don't just hold it in their account for a long time, because that's what YouTube does with ad revenue. Is if you don't have $100 in your account, you don't ever get it at all. So
Follow the rule.
So I have pennies and small amounts of currency right now that, let's see, we want to do this first, and then that's fine. Do this, and then do this, and it doesn't damage this guy. But at a certain point, let's say everything works out on YouTube, and if somebody super chats me $2, I get exactly $2 at the right amount for a pack. I'm still not sure that I can honor that completely. I mean, I could certainly, and I would be alright with that, but also it would kind of suck if in a 2-hour stream I got one super chat that said open a card pack, and then we'll just ride the wave of success here, even though Loki's letting me win. I'd like to actually see actual income for other things, because there are background things. Like I was planning on buying probably about $500 worth of extra equipment. I'm planning on buying eventually about $600 or $700 worth of extra equipment in a new video card. I need to eventually save up for a whole new PC. I don't need it anytime soon, but in 2 or 3 years, my PC will not really be up to snuff. It kind of depends on whether YouTube ever lets us do 4K uploading and whether I have the internet speed for that. So
Jaina.
I would have to encourage people to actually donate and not just donate to card pack openings. But any donation, if any of that ever comes, if I ever even have enough subscribers with Super Chat, I guess I'll have to wing it and figure out that. But I'd like to upgrade my main TV a little bit too. That's another thing I'd like to do, because it's a little wonky, but it's fine. It'll last 3 or 4 more years. All right, this, and then I need to play this and get lucky. There we go. And if Loki plays this and kills this, it's still probably not too bad.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Deal 5 damage to all characters. Interesting. Aha!
Put this apple on your head.
The most relevant thing, I suppose, if donations started coming in, would be just budgeting new games. Like, as we're approaching the Steam summer sale, I'm more and more thinking about buying games that are less than 6 months old, but also there's a decent collection of games that are going to come out between this year's summer sale and the next year's summer sale that I'd like to just get them brand new and try to stream them as fast as possible. That if I did my part of the job better and had all of my pre-recorded things pre-recorded for 4, 5, 6, 7 months to a year, I could stream new games and then take those streams and cut them down into episodes and get everything to work a little bit differently and a little bit better. But that's personally my fault. Is I just have trouble playing games. I'm having a lot of games that aren't that interesting. I played Shank all the way through, and I'm like, boy, is that not worth playing. It sucks. It could be a good game, but it isn't. Alright, one more victory, Loki, if you'll be so kind. And then we'll be done with the stream. We are now 2 hours and 45 minutes about over on this final recording. So there'll just be probably a 3-hour recording that airs 3 months from now or 4 months from now in the Hearthstone time slot. And if I had done my job better and had more pre-recorded footage, I would also severely consider getting rid of the Hearthstone time slot. One of the things that streaming has shown me now is I can't turn a blind eye to the fact that I'm not making the largest amount of upload progress, because every 3 days there's a stream. So if there happens to only be 1 or 2 videos that were uploaded between those 3 days, then that tells me, oh, you didn't really upload it that much. But if there happens to be 20 videos or 30 videos between every 3 days, that would be, wow, you uploaded a lot. That's not exactly a one-to-one comparison, because I could be playing a game where I'm only making 30-minute episodes and then I'd be uploading a bunch, or I could be playing a game that is hour-long episodes, but I just haven't bothered to upload any of it, so there could be 20 hours worth of footage just sitting on my hard drive. Let's see. This one. Go ahead and attack this and end the turn. Haven't seen anything in the chat since 5:37. It's now 6:02, so maybe I prematurely announced that I no longer have any trouble with the chat streaming, but a lot of that too has been Loki, and we've been playing Loki, so obviously Loki's not going to chat and play the game at the same time.
Job's done.
I suppose I could. Let's see.
Ash to ash.
I'm gonna have to go back and turn off all the notifications for like Nintendo and the other YouTube channels I just subscribed to for E3, because they are rather annoying, considering I don't really want to watch Nintendo's videos that they upload, except for their E3 presentation. Let's see, I'll turn off the Wi-Fi connection. And I tell you, this past week I've probably updated my custom firmware on my router DDWRT 2 times, which is way too often to update your firmware, but I know I spent at least 4 or 5 hours messing with it once, and it still didn't fix the issue, which is that the Wi-Fi just doesn't work. So I'm hoping the latest version that I updated and haven't tested yet has fixed that, and then I will probably, if everything's working, then probably never update the software again, or wait a year. I flew too close to the sun buying the WRT 3200 Ace CM from Linksys. It's just too new of a chip, too new of a driver, and because of that, the hardware does not work the way you would like it to. It's a little interesting that Loki just stood there. He usually plays. I am 1 away.
Reporting for duty.
1 away. Maybe I lost the connection. That's alright. I'll get the victory and then we'll wrap up. Here we go. Well, if you can still hear me, Loki, which you probably can, thanks for playing me and helping me get victories. And while this was still 4 hours of gameplay to get 3 daily quests, this would have easily been 7 or 8 hours trying to play unranked, because it would have just been so much more difficult. We got the Tavern Brawl done. We did an arena run, which added probably 45 minutes. We have some cards I believe we can turn to dust. 80 cards because we opened 2 card packs, which gives us 80 dust. Okay, so I'm definitely liking the update. Let's see what's Loki saying real quick. Red Shadow asks, what issues are you having with my Wi-Fi? Literally, the Linksys WRT 3200 and the WRT 1900 ACM has a bad driver. And on DDWRT, when you connect to your Wi-Fi, after sometimes an hour, sometimes just 5 minutes, the entire router just refills. So it's probably a memory leak, Red Shadow. So there's this guy that goes by the name of Brainslayer that's on the forum of DDWRT. And apparently he works for Marvel, the chip maker for the Wi-Fi chip. And he is working on it pretty well to get it to actually work for DDWRT, OpenWRT, Tomato firmware, and all of that. But from what I hear, it doesn't even work that well on the default Linksys things. Yeah, most routers you'll find putting DDWRT on it. Oddly, you kind of need to go into the forums if you want the latest things, and you have to log into the forums to get the latest beta builds, because they haven't updated their software in a long time. But also, if you just want something that's really, really stable, going through DDWRT's website and the router database will give you probably an old version of the software, but not all the newest features and not all the latest support. But yeah, I hacked it, and because I hacked it with a beta build, I'm suffering the trouble of the beta build. Nice to see you on the chat, Red Shadow. Unfortunately, you came on and chatted right at the end. That's gonna be it for this stream. If you want to ask me more questions, you might have to get me on Twitter or just put a comment on one of my videos. Red Shadow says, that's good to know. I have the 1200 running DWT, and I thought about upgrading, so I hold off for now. I heavily recommend it. Yeah, give it probably about 6 months, I would say. Right now, what I'm having to do is I have my old Wi-Fi router, which is a lot slower on the maximum theoretical connection speed. And I just have that plugged in by a hard wire into the new router, and so all the Wi-Fi is being handled by my old router, which stinks, certainly. That's it for this stream. I'll be back hopefully in 3 days for the EA E3 live stream, hopefully on time. I'll set an alarm clock and try to get it done. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps me out and tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. When you subscribe, click the notification bell to get notifications so you know when my newest videos are available. If you want to friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.